In the summer of 2000, a retired government translator named William Acker moved into a quiet cabin near the edge of the Rocky Mountains. He had no family, no close friends, and no interest in being found. He brought with him only a suitcase of clothes, a few old notebooks, and a strange leather-bound book with no title on the cover. That book, as it turns out, may have predicted the 9/11 attacks, and something even more terrifying still to come. William had once worked for a secretive branch of the NSA known internally as Division K. His job was to translate intercepted signals from unknown sources, some from foreign governments, but others, according to him, from non-human transmissions. He never talked about the details, not even when drunk. But after he moved to the cabin, something changed. He started writing letters, long rambling ones, to small independent newspapers and conspiracy radio shows. Most ignored him. But one host, a woman named Jess McAllister, started reading his letters on air. In one of those letters, sent in July 2001, William described a coming event that would shake the pillars of the American skyline. He claimed it was part of a plan known as Project Raining Glass, something he said was created by a group of unelected officials working within the Defense Intelligence Agency. He warned that a major disaster would be used to justify global surveillance systems. At the time, it sounded like a typical paranoid rant. No one paid serious attention. Then, 2 months later, the Twin Towers fell. After September 11th, Jess tried to contact William. She called, emailed, even drove out to the area near his cabin. But he was gone. His cabin was abandoned, his truck missing, and there was no trace of where he had gone. The only thing left behind was that strange leather-bound book, sitting on a dusty desk under a broken window. Jess took the book and hid it away, afraid of what it might contain. For years, she said nothing about it. Until now. In a recent podcast episode that quickly went viral, Jess finally revealed what was inside the book. It wasn't just a collection of warnings. It was a timeline, handwritten entries, coded documents, and strange symbols that looked like a mix of old Sumerian and digital code. The book was part diary, part decoded archive. But the most shocking thing was a section labeled Phase 2, Arrival. In that section, written in 1999, William described a sequence of events that would unfold after the 9/11 attacks. He wrote that the false flag operation would be used to create a need for global monitoring systems, satellite grids, and biometric databases. Once the systems were in place, a second event, what he called the disclosure illusion, would occur in 2027. According to the book, this event would involve the sudden appearance of alien spacecraft, supposedly here to make contact. But William wrote that these ships wouldn't be what they seemed. He claimed they were man-made imitations, built in underground military facilities using technology taken from real alien wreckage found in the 1950s and 60s. But here's the twist. William said the government wasn't faking an alien arrival just for control. They were doing it because they knew the real ones were coming, and soon. The false arrival would be a global distraction, to unite the world under one defense system, to justify weaponizing space, and to prepare for something that couldn't be stopped. Something that had been coming for a very long time. Inside the book were coordinates, deep in the Nevada desert, and a warning that when the final signal is heard, it will already be too late. Jess sent these coordinates to an independent researcher named Kyle Reddick, who took it upon himself to investigate. Kyle, a former drone technician, disappeared just 3 days after arriving near the area. The only thing he managed to upload was a blurry video of what appeared to be a triangular aircraft hovering silently over a ridge. Days later, his channel was deleted. His emails, wiped. His apartment was cleaned out. Kyle's own mother told reporters she hadn't seen him and was told not to ask questions. But things got stranger. Jess, afraid for her life, gave the book to a journalist named Aaron Malik, someone she trusted deeply. Aaron had the pages scanned and sent to a linguistics professor at a private university in Sweden. What he discovered was chilling. The symbols in the back of the book, once decoded, formed a date. June 13, 2027. Next to the date were just 3 words, "They will respond." Now, here's where it gets eerie. In 2004, NASA recorded a strange burst signal from deep space, coming from a sector that was considered radio quiet. It repeated every 19 hours for 3 months, then vanished. In William's book, that same signal, down to the waveform, is sketched in the margins of a 1998 entry. When asked how this was possible, NASA refused to comment, claiming the data was not classified but unavailable. Jess also mentioned that William had warned of a group within the government, known only as the Circle, that had been communicating with non-human entities since the 1970s. These beings, according to the book, never showed themselves directly but provided mathematical sequences, material samples, and propulsion blueprints. The Circle believed these entities were preparing Earth for integration into a larger galactic governance, but others believed something darker, that Earth was a farm, and harvest time was approaching. One of the last pages of the book has a strange line scrawled in red ink. Disclosure will not be given. It will be taken. Some believe this means the fake alien event in 2027 will fail, that the truth will come out, but not the way governments want. Others think it's a warning, that the real arrival will be sudden, violent, and beyond anything we can control. Today, whistleblowers from the U.S. Space Force and retired intelligence officers have hinted at unusual preparations, construction of underground shelters, classified briefings on off-world threats, and increased surveillance of near-Earth space. All of it lines up with William's writings. And yet, no one in authority will admit the book exists. Jess now lives off-grid, and rarely gives interviews. But in her final podcast, she said this. They laughed at William. Said he was crazy. But he predicted things no one could have guessed. Now the timeline points to 2027, and I think he knew something we still don't. Not just about aliens. About us. About what we become when the sky finally opens. So the question remains, was William just another conspiracy theorist? Or was he a man who saw the truth too soon? And if he was right about 9/11, what else was he right about?